Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, here as always with, I don't know, some asshole.
Hey.
And this is the Two Nerds Podcast. I've lost some blood. Nothing serious, but I'm a goofy goober right now. So before we get started on the podcast, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share the links. All that other crap. You can follow us on Twitter. That's below. I think we got a link to the forum. If not, I don't know. It's on one of the videos. Find it. Post there. Love us. Super Blizzard, Shining Wasato, Bandcamp. Let's Get Hardcore. That's our theme song by his musics. He's doing a game called Puppet Kingdom. It's a kingdom of puppets. Nah, it's like a Pokemon-ish sort of thing. Monster collecting, battling, RPG, turn-based, game-tastic nomicon. And another thing, actually, did you know that you can listen to our podcast on an app?
Yeah, I was searching around for a way to listen to podcasts. Some new podcasts that I had found that weren't available on the stuff I was already using. I found a fancy little app called Rat Poison. Sounds weird, I know. But that is actually the name. It has all the major podcasts that I've looked for. The Adam Carolla Show, Steve Austin's podcast, Smodcast. It has podcasts by some, not lesser known by any stretch of the imagination. They're still really huge. Like the optional podcast that Dodger's on, if you know, I'm sure.
Total Biscuit.
Yeah, Total Biscuit.
Way bigger name. He's got league items.
Yeah. And obviously it has the Nerdist podcast and all that. What it also has is a section where you can add YouTube videos.
And because I'm a clever Clancy and I tag all our podcasts as podcasts, you can get them on the Appity-Doo.
Just add YouTube Minister Whitey. Go to the My YouTube section of the app. Add YouTube Minister Whitey. You just add his channel name, and it'll show you all our podcasts in order. That way, if you want to listen to them on the go, download them, listen to them later, you can do it right there.
I don't know if this gives me views or money or anything. I don't know. But if you want to listen to us and spread the word, and your friend's like, I don't know, man, I can't leave my phone on YouTube. I don't want to sit around. I'm on the computer and do business and only business and whatever. Fuck. Download this app on your phone and listen to my awesome friend White and his awesome friend The Boy and what their awesome opinions are about, what's his name? Peter Baelish. Dinkle Dongleman.
I'm not stopping this train. You go right on ahead. This is...
Littlefinger. Ha ha!
This is radio gold. I'm not derailing this at all.
Yeah, so, podcast. Yeah. So, today we're talking about the World of Warcraft. Yeah, I was looking around the internet at World of Warcraft stuff. I've been doing that since we started playing again. And, stumbled across this thing that happened back in September, from the Alternative Chat blog. I will link that somewhere in the description.
Whoever runs it.
The runner of said blog, did, 10 years, 10 questions. World of Warcraft, as of, sometime this month, has been around for 10 fucking years. And, there were 10 questions asked of World of Warcraft players. And I thought it was pretty cool. And our Warcraft podcast did really well. I ain't got fuck all else to talk about right now. So I thought...
October's over, folks.
Yeah, October's over. There was no spooky, scary voice. I'm sorry.
I mean, I suppose we could have done a podcast about, Guy Fawkes Day, but...
I ain't got much to say about it.
Me neither.
Blow something up.
Yep.
Legally. But not. Fight the power.
In some... You know what?
Well, before I get arrested, let's go back to this World of Warcraft. Cops are just busting in the door. We know you're recording a podcast. Shut the fuck up.
Why do we live in this dystopian universe where podcasts aren't allowed?
Oh, man. Oh, cool. All the blood started coming out of my face. That means by the end of this podcast, I should have some semblance of sanity back. 10 years, 10 questions. We're going to do them. It starts out with, why did you start playing Warcraft? The Boy, why did you start playing Warcraft?
Mostly Because you and Lee played Warcraft, and it seemed like fun, and it was something to do with my friends.
I don't remember why I started playing Warcraft.
Like, thinking about it just...
I thought about it today while I was at work. I have no fucking clue. I remember that at some intangible point, it became a possibility. And then when Brandy got the fancy-dancy new computer that we still currently use to this day, we had the hardware to support said possibility. That squirty noise is me squirting the cat. He's a bad. And then we did it. I mean, I know Lee was talking about it, but he talked to me about it before. I've had friends, like, a bunch of my friends from high school. I don't think we were still in high school. They had a little LAN party where they all played Warcraft. They all got trial accounts or some shit, and rolled undeads and just fucking swept through Tearsfall. But I was not invited. You had a similar story, didn't you?
A friend of mine in high school let me play WoW on his account because I'd never played it. I was mildly interested in what this whole World of Warcraft thing was. And it was when I was 16 or so. So, coming up on like 8 years ago. So it was pretty early in the life cycle. Had to have been vanilla. And I was... I had no idea what I was doing. He just dropped me on an alt. He happened to be leveling at the time. I played a dwarf. I killed some boars. I did what was the stereotypical Warcraft experience. So much so that I think this was before the Make Love Not Warcraft episode of South Park. And when I saw it, I laughed because I had played a very small amount of WoW, and that, to my experience, was pretty much what you did. Sat in a forest and killed boars.
Now, I played Warcraft 3. Did you ever play Warcraft 3?
No. I was more of a StarCraft and Command & Conquer RTS fan.
Thought you hated StarCraft.
I do hate StarCraft, but I did play StarCraft.
Oh, okay.
I never played Warcraft.
Kind of like StarCraft or Star Wars fans hate Star Wars.
Well, no. It's just kind of like someone who's watched an episode of Star Trek and didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I just
but
never
you do like Star Trek, right?
Yeah. I just never have touched Warcraft. Like, the RTS games, just never actually played them.
Who's your favorite Star Trek?
Should we wait until your blood is a little further back?
Answer the fucking question.
It's not a question.
It ended with a question mark.
That doesn't mean anything. Jim John Jabango? That doesn't mean that you can respond.
I would have accepted Captain Picard or The Next Generation.
You're a weird guy.
That's probably my favorite Star Trek.
Yeah, mine too, but it's neither here nor there.
Oh man, people are like listening to this podcast going, dude, he should lose blood more often.
He's way more fun.
Stupid. Oh, hell. Yeah, I played Warcraft 3. I liked it. I didn't really play much of the story mode that I remember. It was babies compared to just setting up co-op or, not co-op versus AI. It's not League of Legends. Setting up, custom
scenarios.
Matches. Yeah, scenarios. And just being like, whatever. I usually played Undead. I never won. I was awful at that game. But it was fun.
What? From what I understand, I'm missing out because Warcraft is an amazing RTS. It's just not something that I had available to me because when I was younger, I didn't have a wealth of funds. So I had the RTS games available to me that people who had those funds were able to provide me.
Right on. And other Pokemon.
Are you sure you don't want to? You sure you don't want to wait until?
No, I think this is golden. I think this is great.
Blood?
Do you not like it?
It's just, you're real loopy right now, and you're giving me this weird look.
Who gives a fuck? They can't see me. I can do whatever I want.
I don't
visually.
want you to go off the rails crazier than usual and cut my face, okay?
Just cut it a little bit. Just your lip. In case there's a double of you. That's my plan. If I okay, those scenarios people are always like, hey, if an exact copy of you showed up, or you got a clone or something, what's the first thing you would do? Always predetermined. Cut his lip.
See, alright, I need to explain this because he's not going to be able to explain it coherently right now. He's like very, very concerned about his clone trying to kill him and take over his life.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you be?
Because some of our clones aren't going to be extreme sociopaths who have a weird Highlander mindset.
Whatever, man. Lightning comes out of me when you cut my head off, and then you have the
You
power.
cannot possibly know that. Unless you were indeed a clone, and the reason your plane has cut his lip is because the first one didn't do that, and you know that that's required.
I wish we had a third canon vote here. I would be willing to apply that to our canon.
Yeah, no, we'll table it to committee for
Yeah,
that.
we will.
But yeah, just like literally can't remember why you played, like why you started. Just
No. Like my friends had been into it for a while, off and on. Lee mostly. Lee was the guy we've talked about WoW before on the podcast.
Yeah,
Lee was the
you
guy who
mentioned
got
that.
us into it.
Lee's the guy who got us into WoW. That's how the viewer knows him. Ultimo Dragon knows.
He's awesome. He's pretty pimpity. He's a cool dude. He likes minis, like mini war games. Like
I assume mini muffins too.
well, no, he does. He does. Who doesn't like mini muffins? It's a tiny muffin.
I have met people who don't.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
They didn't like sweets.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, okay. That's dumb. Get a better tongue. Question 2.
That's a smooth segue you got there, sir.
I crashed that segue. I exceeded the weight limit. What was the first character you rolled?
First character I rolled was an undead mage. I was told, I've told this story before on our first Warcraft podcast, I was told by the guy, Lee, who got us into WoW, that I shouldn't do that. because leveling a mage was balls. It was lame, and it was really hard. I did it anyway, and he wasn't wrong.
Because your brain, I'm sure, was just going, but wizard is the best class.
Yeah,
wizard is always the best class.
I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. Yes, that's why. I like wizards. That was the wizard class. That's the one I wanted to play. Yeah, is undead mage. I don't play him anymore. He's 70-something. I've got into other tunes, other classes more, other servers. He's probably going to remain 70-something.
That server, man, there's like 5 characters sitting there that we're just not going to touch. I log in, look at their inventory, go, yup, and then just go back to one of my other guys.
What about you, sir? What was the first character you played?
I think the first character I rolled was a troll rogue. I don't remember his name.
Are you sure he wasn't a hunter?
The second character I rolled was a troll hunter. That's the one I actually got to around 20. Yeah, first character was a troll rogue because classically, in terms of D&D, at that point in my life, I played rogues. And out of all the horde races, the troll was the best one, in my mind at that time. They're still pretty much up there for me. I really like trolls. I think they got cool lore. I like how they're kind of like the outsiders of the horde. I mean, not now, and I kind of like that too.
Yeah, they're like, even back when we started, which was in Wrath, by the way, 2009.
We're Wrath baddies.
Yep. The trolls were still sort of the outsiders. I mean, the Blood Elves were newer, but you got the sense they weren't even really in the Horde. They were more just, allies in name only.
For the Horde or whatever. Give us magic. There's a reason they joined up in the lore. I don't have enough brain blood to...
It's fine.
To brain the blood out of it.
Now past, Cataclysm, past Mists of Pandaria, to the very end, right up on this new Warlords of Draenor, they're the Horde.
Oh yeah.
Vol'jin is the war chief.
Yeah. I like that. They can do voodoo again. That's good. Man, they need to update the VO. I've been thinking this for weeks now. They redid all the character models. I think they need to update the VO. Because some of the older VO sucks from an acting perspective.
Yeah. Some of the new VO isn't great.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, there's a vast fucking gulf of difference between World of Warcraft VO and League of Legends VO as it pertains to your characters and the NPCs and stuff. The unnamed NPCs, I should say. Like, storyline stuff is usually really good.
I mean, usually, I'm thinking of a specific thing. I just got back into playing the guy who was my main before we stopped playing WoW for a long time. He was a Blood Elf Protection Paladin. I'm just at the beginning of the Mists of Pandaria stuff. Oh my god, the guy who plays General Nazgrim, his voice acting is fucking awful. Fucking
General Nazgrim.
Just fucking aggressively terrible.
I don't know why I said his name.
Neither do I, you weird asshole.
Anytime you say a proper noun, that's just what I'm going to do through the rest of the podcast.
Looks like he's actually a boss in Siege of Orgrimmar. So he's a boss once you get to the end of Mists of Pandaria and fight Hellscream, which is neat. I will look forward to smooshing his face in when I run through that dungeon at like level 100 just to go back and get the stuff for Transmog.
David Lodge. That name sounds familiar.
Might be a very talented voice actor. He did not give a good performance there. It was fucking aggressively terrible. The rest of the voice acting there is not bad, and it actually has some fucking voices I recognize, which made me double take a little. Some celebrity presence there. At least voice acting celebrity.
Yeah.
But the only reason I mentioned it is because I was playing it today, and I had to listen to a lot of it, and oh god, it's fucking terrible.
There's some Power Ranger stuff. And, I mean, he does like some anime shit too, but I don't.
By contrast, I'm trying to find. Yeah, here he is. Lore Walker Cho.
Lore Walker Cho's awesome. Lore Walker Cho's a good character too.
Lore Walker Cho's a good character.
He's Galio and Skarner.
Yeah, he's Galio, he's Skarner, he's a bunch of like kids. Oh wait, the guy General Nazgrim guy?
Yeah, General Nazgrim.
I thought you were talking about Lore Walker Cho.
Yeah, well, I mean, Galio and Skarner don't have. They just sort of sound like this, with various filters on them.
If he could have given me the performance he gave during Skarner when he says "I miss my kind," if he could have given that caliber of performance, I'd have been happy. I'd have been just fine. Let's see here.
General Nazgrim.
So Lore Walker Cho, he was really good. I was looking it up here. Jim Cummings. So obviously.
Oh yeah, fucking Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings is amazing.
Fucking Jim Cummings.
So I knew that voice. I just couldn't place it. So yeah, no, that's good, and it's real extreme. WoW's VO has never been super good.
No,
that's the most recent expansion,
right?
It's not like it got better. Them redoing it wouldn't do anything, is my point, because it would just be awful anyway.
Well, I think maybe just like, first of all, for the characters. I'm so sick and tired of hearing trolls say, "Stay away from the voodoo," when you've been able to do voodoo since fucking Cataclysm.
Well, that's not even a fucking redo the VO. Just turn that quote off.
Or yeah, that. I'm tired of the goblins. Righto!
When they don't sound like that anymore?
Yeah. No, what? I mean, I know they're a different kind of goblin, and there's probably a bunch of people who are like, "I liked the squeaky voice goblins. I wrote a fan fiction about where the squeaky voice goblins got together and they had a good time and they went on adventures. And if you take out the voice of the squeaky voice goblins, it entirely undoes the continuity in which I created my fan fiction, and I will unsubscribe immediately." And I can understand why they wouldn't want that guy to stop playing their game. But
really? Because I can.
That was sarcasm.
I know. I was playing into the bit.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I'm on to you. But
just not literally, please.
They don't know. They can't see. Oh.
I'll scream.
Oh my. I like trolls. That's where this started. And I think they should redo or fix some of the video. I get tired of like them talking about shit that isn't the fucking case anymore.
Doesn't make sense anymore.
Like, it would be like if there was some sort of VO that was like, it sure is great Garrosh Hellscream is alive, and like after Draenor, and it's like,
or like now, man, Thrall's a great war chief, isn't he?
Yeah.
He hadn't been war chief. And
some
for
of those
a long
fucking references. Look, okay, one of the orc jokes is like a fucking American Idol. What's that guy's name? Randy? The guy who's like calls you dog and he's feeling you.
The fat one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? What the fuck? Is he even on the show anymore?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Who's watched American Idol in the last 3-4 years?
You guys used to watch it all the time, and then even you guys were like, just for the shitty people, just to laugh at them. You and Brandy, that is to say, not you guys, the internet. I don't know, maybe you fucking did.
Well, I mean, at one point they did.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, because of the voting.
Yeah, me and Brandy used to watch it all the time. She watched it the whole season. I would watch it until they were done listening to the terrible people sing, because I get a severe sense of schadenfreude from watching them fail.
Oh, you both did.
But even then, just eventually, I'm done with this. I'm done. It's over. Please stop. They still haven't, I don't think.
No, it's still going on.
Jesus Christ.
But that reference is no longer fucking relevant. There's one, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there's one that's like a night elf thing. He makes a joke about how wisps leave your mouth minty fresh. Alright, this is based on a product that I don't even know if they fucking make anymore. If they make it, they don't advertise it anymore. A wisp was a little toothbrush that had like toothpaste in it. That was like the proprietary trademark name of a specific brand, like right. Colgate or some shit, of that thingy. Wisps are also the souls of dead night elves. Hence the joke. Man, who the fuck knows what those things are anymore?
Now the joke is just wisps.
I guess wisps are minty, yeah. Why are you eating? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That implies that particular night elf is a crazy night elf that eats souls.
There is stuff in there. Because there's stuff, at least in the male night elf dialogue in their VO.
Here's I can tell their VO is all, bruh!
Most of it is, but there's a couple lines where they talk about not being immortal anymore, and they made another Moonwell.
They're back to being immortal?
As far as I know. So, I don't know. I mean, that's the reason they stopped being immortal, is they lost their Moonwell. They made another Moonwell. Or another Moon Tree, or...
Moon whatever.
We're so fucking new to the Alliance. I don't know half this shit. I'm learning, okay? It's
I
not
know
like
shit about the Sunwell.
I talked to you for days.
I'm pretty sure it's not the Moonwell, it's Yggdrasil. World Tree?
No, that's not what they call it. I mean, it's one of the World Trees. There's like a bunch of them. And one of them got fucked.
Okay, that don't make no goddamn sense. There is one World Tree.
No, it's just the Warcraft thing. Anyway. Tuners Podcast. Come listen to us say stupid shit about arguments to each other.
Yeah, alright, Two Nerds Podcast. One person who's still sane, another person who has gone off on the weirdest fucking set of tangents because he's lost about half the blood in his brain.
I don't need brain blood. You can't contain me.
Clearly. Clearly we cannot.
Question 3. Which factors determined your faction choice in-game?
Which factors determined my faction choice?
I'm pretty sure Lee held a gun to both of our heads and went, if you motherfuckers don't pick Horde, I will kill you!
I feel like that's almost something that needs explained. Your Lee impression?
Well, I know, he kind of sounds like that.
Okay.
Like, he didn't used to, but then we started making that voice as a joke when Leon Phelps was a thing, and it never went away.
That's just his voice now. So, anyway.
I did that for a while when I was a kid.
You know what? No, it had nothing to do with Lee. Like,
really?
He was like, you pick Horde, I'll give you some bags and stuff, because, you know, he had Horde tunes and he was going to give me bags. I'd have picked Horde anyway. They have cooler races.
They do.
Fluff.
Like, I would have.
Cooler.
What stopped me from playing
towns?
the Alliance for so long was that, you know, it was...
lame.
I'd picked a side. I'm not allowed to use the other side until my brain went, you know what, you pay $15 a month for this shit, not to mention the price you pay for expansions, and you are literally restricting yourself from playing half of the quests. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That is weird.
It would be like buying Dragon Age Inquisition, getting to the midway point and going, "Yep, guess I'm done."
But it's... Anyway.
So yeah,
They have cooler fluff, they have cooler races, they have cooler towns. Undercity looks cooler than...
Ironforge would be its equivalent.
Yeah, than Ironforge. Except for the Great Forge, which is super badass. The rest of Undercity looks way cooler than Ironforge. Orgrimmar, even Old Org, was way cooler than fucking Stormwind. Stormwind is a pile of ass. I still think that.
I think it's a nice town, but I don't think it's laid out very logically.
Well, no, it is laid out very logically. It's just laid out... Okay, I'm playing a video game. I understand this very slanty wall, tiny streets sort of thing. It feels genuine for a fantasy setting. It's fucking hard to get around in.
Well, it's so easy to lose your direction, you know? I wish there were something other than the color of the rooftops to help me get around.
Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I'll stop being frustrated by it at all once I can fly. I don't have any Alliance tunes high enough level to fly. Once I can fly, I'm pretty sure I will just scoot around and be like, oh, I need to go to the mage quarter. Up, down. like a mortar. I will travel, or I will hop around Stormwind.
We play on a roleplay server. We will slash walk there.
If I need to get somewhere quickly, no, I will not.
Like, every time I need fucking enchanting training, I'm like, where do I go? I think it's here. And then I end up in the transmog place, and I'm looking at all the electric mummy guys, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. The collective? I forget what those guys are called.
I don't care. I don't care at the moment. It's... Yeah, and it might just be that we have so much more... You know what? It's not even that we have more experience in Org, because Old Org's gone. New Org's
not. I mean, Old Org's not that different from New Org. I mean, it is...
They moved the bank. I miss hanging out on the bank roof.
It was a thing. I'm glad I was there for it. I like the way Org's laid out. Org is more open spaces, and I think that's what you're talking about with the tiny-ass narrow streets and stuff. I think that's more of the problem than anything. You don't have much room to orient yourself, and because everything looks like a fucking town, except the roofs, which are up high, which you can't see unless you're, like, navigating by the fucking rooftops, like, looking up every 5 seconds. There's not really anything to go, okay, which way? Going? If it were built like Gilneas, which has got big fucking plazas here and there.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
I mean, they've got, like, what, one park?
A way to orient myself. And if the big square that the entire city was based around didn't have one corner of it fucking chopped out. That makes you really hard to get around.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Damn.
City Platters and Deathwing.
Yeah, Deathwing. Couldn't remember his name. I wanted to say Blackwing. I'm like, no, that's a different dragon.
Fucking dragons named Wing. Always starting shit.
Damn Steve Wing.
Bet you Steve Wing does start shit. Probably not, like, on the scale of Deathwing.
No. Like, he's the guy in the office who, like, steals your fucking paper clips.
God damn it, Steve.
I see this dragon, like, this fucking majestic red and black dragon with a cup of coffee and a business suit. But no jacket, because it's business casual.
It's not as funny as you think it is, but it is still pretty funny.
I like Steve Wing. I'm just enamored by him.
He keeps his wings all folded up behind him.
Yeah. But he's got this smug-ass look on his face, because he steals your paper clips.
He steals your office supplies in general. So he doesn't have to pay for them himself, so he can keep more gold for his hoard.
He always stops by and tells you really inappropriate stories, but leaves before you can get mad about it.
Or stops by and, like, eats food directly at your face.
Yeah. Oh, man, I fucking hate Steve Wing.
Everyone hates Steve Wing.
Question 4. What has been your most memorable moment in Warcraft and why? I have already said mine like 9,000 times.
Yeah, you have. You've told that story a few times. My most memorable moment in Warcraft. That's actually kind of a weird question because...
It's the whole first time on a roleplay server Stormwind fireworks thing. Carry on. Just so they weren't like, oh, God, I gotta go back and listen to the fucking podcast, you assholes.
No,
that was what it was. If you wanted it in depth, you have to go back and find it, but that's what I was talking about.
It's the Stormwind Fireworks thing. You know what? I'm not honestly sure. I've had a lot of memorable moments in WoW, both, dungeons that I really like, but those aren't really memorable moments because I've run all those dungeons so many goddamn times that they weren't really unique. Every one group was the same as the next. It was, unless they were assholes, in which case they became memorable in a real bad way.
Alright, let's try this. Okay. Dude, remember that time in WoW when, and what comes to your mind?
It's dead air. I feel bad, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah? That hard? Alright, while you think, if I had a new memorable moment, I think it's probably the end of the Silverpine Forest quest line, where you fight Gilneas and stuff. I started a quest character who's just going through the Eastern Kingdom's quest line for the Horde. I'm going to do one for Kalimdor and one for the Alliance on both sides too. And the end of that quest chain is just really cool. Like great story stuff. The only thing that's been comparable is when you get that book that used to be like Sylvanas' sisters or whatever, and she sings you her magic singing song. That's over in elf territory. But that's pretty cool too. It doesn't trump the other thing, but if I had to pick something else, that would be it.
My most memorable moment in WoW is the very first time that we got a really good reaction off of Isis and Sandy.
What happened?
Alright, so we've mentioned these guys in
passing. I don't think we've ever gotten into detail about these
in
two.
passing. All right. They're a pair of PvP tunes. It's two trolls, a Shadow Priest and a Mage. He plays the Mage named Isis. I play a Shadow Priest named Sandy. You get the reference, I'm sure.
Isis is a Frost Mage.
Yeah. So, when we started this PvP set, we determined that since we were trolls and we were PvP tunes, we were going to be trolls. We were going to do something funny.
Well, a friend of mine told me about how he would fuck around in PvP games. Like, he got a bunch of his friends together and they bought farmer gear off the auction house. This is before transmogging was a thing. And they would get into the game, get into Erethy. They would all go to farm, dress in their farmer gear, and be like, we are farmers. And I laughed my ass off. I was like, so long as you're still playing the game, there's no harm in shit like that, in having fun like that. So,
if you're the only people on that side of if you manage to fill out your half of the battleground, you want to give them a free win by all going to the farm and being farmers? Fine, whatever. You're not hurting anybody.
Yeah. So we wanted to do something like that.
So what we did was we made a bunch of macros, and we did a personalized, changed version of the Team Rocket opening from the cartoon. We would go back and forth. Isis would say half of it, Sandy would say half of it, and then we would proceed to do Team Rocket skits. We would say things they would say throughout the battleground. The big thing, though, was when the battleground started, we would wait, and then just, like a minute before the countdown started, so we had enough time for the whole thing, we would do the whole opening sequence, and his water elemental.
Yeah, it would add splash, that's right.
To the very end. And then, the most important thing is when someone responds to it with, oh, I get it, Team Rocket. Team who? Like from Pokemon. What's a Pokemon? The very first time we got someone hard with that, he was stunned. Like, I remember this vividly. We did the whole thing, and he was like, oh, that's cute. What do you mean? The Team Rocket thing. What team? Team what? From Pokemon? He put a question mark. Then this fat asshole types, what's a Pokemon? And the little guy, his tube, it was an orc. I forget what class. Stops moving. Like he was moving back and forth, doing what everyone does, trying to get best position in front of the gate so you can get out Warsong Gulch first. because that's what we were playing, and it stopped moving.
So you know, at the other end of the keyboard, that guy was like either face palming or just,
or they gotta be fucking with me.
Yeah,
They be fucking with me. They
gotta be
have to be fucking with me. There's no way that this was accidental.
I accidentally, I'm going to tell him. So we got the touring rocket, the one you got from the account resurrection thing, or recruiter friend, something like that.
Continue with the story.
And I was trying to get Brandy into the game. I think I told you guys about this, so I gave the item to her. Well, she never really got into it. I ended up talking with a Blizzard employee, and he made a very special exception and moved the rocket to...
Move the rocket to the other account, which I have to stress is not something they normally do.
No, they didn't. That was not something they did. I mean, now your mounts are account-wide, the rocket included, who gives a fuck? But he moved it for me. It was a very special circumstance. He could see, all this shit. He was a super cool guy about it. If I remembered his fucking handle, I would be like, this dude. I think he was some sort of Latino, if I recall correctly. But anyway, if you are Latin American and you work for Blizzard, you should feel really good about yourself right now, just in case. But, so we got the touring rocket on those two because that was a duo we were playing. And we mostly did PvP Battlegrounds, but we also had professions. Like, Ice is on Blood Furnace, he's our inscriptionist.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a really high inscription, and so I needed to get herbs and all that shit.
Sandy's one of several tailors.
So,
bags, man, they make so much money.
We were going between zones and stuff, fucking getting the rocket and driving together. It's fun.
At the very least, it allows you to drive the different PvP vendors.
Yeah, that too, because that's a fucking trip.
Or in the battleground, both hop on the rocket, and then...
And go where we're going, because we sit together. So, I didn't realize until like 2 days ago.
That he gave it to... Finish the joke.
With that I gave the rocket for your team to our Team Rocket joke. Didn't fucking occur to me.
Which, by the way, that shit's getting integrated.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck, yeah. Now it is.
Once we will do that off to the side. I will hop on my rocket. He will hop on the little rider's seat. And now we say, blast off at the speed of light.
I wish I felt like playing PvP more in WoW right now. I don't. I'm so into PvE right now. I'm so into questing, so into dungeons, and just remembering how to play characters. I guess that's kind of why I don't have time to fuck around and play PvP, because it's like, I want to play
PvP is
WoW.
straight fucking around.
Yeah. And then right now, if I want to be competitive and actually play that shit, I'll go play fucking League.
Right?
But, yeah, so that was most memorable moment in Warcraft. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. We had some good fun with those guys. And it's a great way to keep your head, Mm-hmm. You can't get too mad in a Warsong Gulch when you're not really...
Hey, look, I've played League now. WoW PvP is babies. I
can't
possibly get mad
about
it.
The first night we got back into it, we're like, hey, you want to play some PvP? Sure, why not? We played through it, and it was a bad fucking match. Fucking elitists, assholes, everybody had heirlooms except us, because for some reason we never bought heirlooms. And
we just never happened to have. We've had other shit to do.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that this guy is king of alts.
Zomax is level 60 now. I need to play some other shit for a while because I'm not ready to heal more dungeons on him yet. Especially not the beginning of Burning Crusade.
Especially not the Hellfire Peninsula dungeon.
Oh, man. I tried doing PvE, and it was just... These quests are not... These give me dick for experience. No. But, yeah, there's no comparison. The stress, there's no comparison. We had an awful match, and it was still like...
And we were chuckling.
Whatever.
Because I've played League now, motherfucker. This is babies. Y'all are getting way too mad about this.
So, okay. What is your favorite aspect of the game? This is question 5. And has this always been the case?
My favorite aspect of the game is how wildly flexible it is. That's going to sound like a weird oxymoron to some people who play WoW. Because for a lot of people who play WoW, there's a meta, there's a best set of gear, there's a best this is the rotation you do. That's not really what I mean. WoW can cater to a lot of different kinds of play. You can do straight PvP tunes like we do. You can do, a dungeon-focused character like my tank, my Blood Elf Paladin. He did dungeons almost straight through. You can do a character who does mostly PvE. Shit, if you want to and you're a crazy person, you can level from 1 to 90 on the Wandering Isle as a panda without picking between the Horde and Alliance just by herbing shit. You can do things like do Mario cosplay, or level up to level 90 taking no quests that involve you killing anyone or harming anyone.
Should they know about the plan?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We will wait until a later podcast when the plan is in motion.
When I've done some things and gotten some good reactions. There's a plan, Ultima Dragon. And
it's grand.
Ich habe a plan, große Plan.
But it allows for role playing. It allows for these really unique role playing experiences too, like seeing someone playing role playing in your role playing game filled with role play on a role playing server. That Inception level shit.
Exhibit stopped by. I was like, I ain't touching this. And drove off.
That's probably inherent to the MMORPG sort of thing.
You would think that. You would think that. He said, Hulk Hogan pointing. But I went on a mighty quest. We stopped playing WoW, and there was a little MMO-shaped hole in my life. There was. League filled it for a while, but...
Not forever.
No, not forever. It took about 6 months for the shine to wear off that apple in that regard. I bought Guild Wars 2. I played Star Wars Online, Star Trek Online. Star Wars, The Old Republic.
Not Galaxies.
Not Galaxies. I played 2 different kinds of D&D online, Lord of the Rings Online. Allods, which is a fun game, but it's not from America, and their English is shoddy at best. If you hate being mainstream and you want to play WoW, but not WoW, Allods. 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 It's great. It's got amazing designs. It's very similar to WoW.
If you want to be a little bit less indie fag, but still don't want to play WoW,
Lord of the Rings Online.
Lord of the Rings Online. That's
similar.
just fucking WoW.
Yeah. My main problem is the lack of race choices. I mean, it's Lord of the Rings races. I can't really be mad about it, but that's what gravitates me back toward WoW. But I went on this mighty quest, and like the California girls before, I came back to WoW. Because it has everything I could possibly want.
It is one-stop shopping for that sort of experience. And I love that. And I love that, I love how they're trying to make classes more flexible, and they made talent points way more flexible, because there's not many of them, and they all represent really meaningful choice, and that feels good. They say they're trying to avoid having a best talent in slot, which is nice. But mostly it is how flexible, how many different kinds of fun I can have in WoW. Like, I've had fun in WoW watching a television show on Netflix.
Man, fucking noob.
Jesus, dude, you forgot the heater, you forgot...
I turned the computer volume down.
Silence your phone?
Man.
Unprofessional face blood injury.
Oh, jeez. It's almost like I lost a lot of the stuff that helps me brain go.
But I've had fun in WoW flying around in a circle around like a Wrathy Basin or something, just farming up ore on a mining tune while I watch some shit on Netflix.
Yeah, that's fun. Man, okay. Forever, MST3K and King of the Hill are always going to bring back feelings of WoW for me.
Because that's what we would do. We would turn on WoW, we would play PvP, like just hours and hours of PvP or any other thing, and just watch King of the Hill or MST3K. That's what we did for a long time.
Oh yeah,
at least like years. Maybe.
About a year. That was like the last hurrah before we stopped playing.
And it's a really fun set of memories, and I could not have that experience with something like League or a more intense game.
Now, has that always been the case? Was that always your favorite part of the game?
When I was first leveling, my favorite part of the game was dungeons. when I could get into them, because I think we started just before the Looking for Group thing came out.
Well, I don't remember when it came out, but I know we were scared of it for a while.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it because we were noobs, and I didn't want to bring things down. But when I first started playing, Looking for Group dungeons, that was my favorite part of WoW, because dungeons are really fun. I was a mage, and I was real good at it, so I was always top of the DPS charts, which made me feel real good. Yeah, I'm good at games. I'm good at video games. I'm good at WoW. I'm top of the charts.
I told you this, but when we re-downloaded everything, I downloaded Recount and turned it on for a fight just to see. Man, I felt so stressed keeping up with getting my DPS up. I would rather just fucking play. Like, I would just rather
Once
play.
I'm back up to running speed and used to everything again, back to doing dungeons on DPS tunes and healing tunes and all that, places where, Recount
If
matters.
I were in a raid...
Yeah. If once we're doing stuff that matters, then yeah, totally. I will totally turn Recount back on, because I like being at the top of the charts. I was fighting dudes in heirloom leveling gear. Dudes who had leveling gear made for them by their higher level alts, and whatever gear I found in the dungeons or found while questing, and I was still top of the charts. That made me feel really good. But as I've played WoW, as I've played it for a long time now, it's the flexibility. You?
Right now, and it's slow going, but I know, because this is the biggest part of what brought me back to WoW. What I like most about this game is the opportunity to roleplay. It doesn't happen to me a lot, but I love it when somebody just walks up to me and we start a little roleplay conversation. I had it on my brewmaster the other day. This gnome walked up and started chit-chatting with me, had a little conversation, had an interaction with some people nearby. It was cool. I can't wait until I have characters high enough level that I can do shit. My plan on Zomax, who is my goblin priest, his professions are mining and herbing. He doesn't make anything. So he's just going to have all these mats. And anything I don't use on my other horde characters, I'm going to mail to him. And I am going to stand out in front of the auction house and undercut the fuck out of everyone. Not that this is an original plan, but I can't wait to have fun doing it.
He's just going to go to the front of the auction house and go to the auction house, find out whatever the price is going for these mats, and then undercut them. Just so he can be like, I got deals, everyone, deals! It's going to be really amusing. I plan on playing a shill. I will walk up to these deals and be like, deals you say, sir?
It's going to be great. And there are little moments. I mean, even just role-playing with you, even just being in character is fun. I love it. That was not always my favorite part, man. I didn't even fucking know what a roleplay server was for a long time.
What did it used to be?
Probably just the fact that WoW hits all those hallmarks of requirement that I have for a game. I need to be able to have a lot of flexibility and customization, and WoW has that in spades. Always has, even if there is a believed right way to play the game, you never had to do it that way. You just had to suffer elitists until you could right-click them and hit the mute button. Or ignore, as it is in WoW. There's so many different ways to play, like you were saying. Your character creation, there's so many different models you can make. I want to roll more hunters just because there's so many cool pets. And I theme my individual hunters so that I can't be like my hunter right now, my undead hunter. Right now he's got a diseased-ass wolf because he's an undead. And eventually I'm going to get one of the grubs from Mists of Pandaria. Because undead hunter, worm pet, master race. I've wanted this since, I conceived of it and I was like, damn, undead aren't hunters. Then Cataclysm dropped and they could be hunters and I was like, yes! No! The only worm pets are those weird,
scaly worms.
Yeah, that aren't really...
The serpenty worms.
Damn! I love the big fucking maggots. Like the gigantic ones that are in the Eastern Plaguelands, Western Plaguelands,
but
whichever
you can't tame those.
No, you can't tame those. Well, they've got little grubby worms in Mists of Pandaria. And that's my goal. That's my goal on James Lowry, is to get that pet. Now I can get other shit with him. I could get a cool bone spider, that'd be fine. I haven't run anything I want to replace my diseased wolf with yet. I got him in early Silverpine.
But it's just, he can't go, oh, this is a really cool, colorful bird, and this is a raptor. No, it doesn't.
No, I'd have to have a different fucking character.
Unless you made a hunter whose thing was he collected pets.
Maybe, but I mean, you only have so many spaces, you know? It's not like the pet journal, where you just, whatever, have all of them.
Oh, I got a new one of those today.
A new pet?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Fish.
A fish. Oh, the one in the little bubble?
I don't know. It's just fish.
Oh,
It
I'm
says
gonna
fishy.
check it out. Sweet. I'm excited. Let's see. Yeah, customization, that flexibility you were talking about, really smooth controls. I mean, it's a computer game. Mouse controls, WASD.
Mouse, keyboard, master race.
It's hard to go wrong with that.
Mouse, keyboard, master race. I got into console shooters for a while, and then I stopped, and I couldn't quite figure out why. Then I played a PC shooter again and realized why. I cut my teeth on Quake. Mouse, keyboard, master race. It's just in my blood.
I can go back and forth. It doesn't bother me. Except for Elder Scrolls. Now, to be fair, I haven't played Elder Scrolls on the computer, but, like, the thought of it makes me go, uh-huh.
It takes some getting used to. It's mostly the cursor with the Xbox. You can only move so fast, but it's very smooth. With the keyboard, with the mouse, you can move very fast, but it's jaggedy as shit. So if you got some Parkinson's hand going, don't play it because you will get sick.
And even in how you fucking play the game, you've got options.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, all right, WoW people out there, I click my abilities. I don't have them keybound.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Feel bad. Feel real bad. You know the hate you feel bubbling up? Enjoy it.
Well,
savor it.
There's two reasons for this. One,
he doesn't into keybinds.
I don't really. It took me forever to get into keybinds for League, but it's only 4 buttons.
Motherfucker, you still can't use active items.
No, I can't. I click my active items because I will move my fingers and I will have no clue where I am, and that's the easiest way for me to die is I'm fucking pounding on GHJK. Spells go! Go, spells! Or more likely, I get slightly off back, most people use, D as flash?
Yeah.
D and F, yeah.
You use space as your flash.
Yeah, I use space as my flash. And my other spell I click, because it's usually teleport.
Whereas if I'm doing something intensive, I keybind. Like if I'm tanking, or if I'm healing. Healing, I use Healbot, which is just the best key binding, because it all is bound to my mouse key. And then various control, alt, minutia.
If our current mouse had more buttons on it, I would... that's fine.
I got 4 buttons on this motherfucker.
Yeah, but they don't really work that much anymore. Our middle fucking button press doesn't work anymore on either mouse, I don't think.
It's worn out from video games.
But that's fine. That doesn't bother me. But it doesn't bother me at all. But, like, my keyboard... Dude, that's for backup movement if I need to strafe. Okay?
Where I will keybind the shit out of stuff. I don't need to keybind on my paladin tank because it's so dirt simple, but it would be very easy to start.
Everything outside of Warrior is dirt simple. And the only reason Warrior's not dirt simple is because you've got so many circumstantial buttons. And you might not even anymore. I know they took a bunch of those out in the pre-patch for Draenor. What do we got here?
Next question.
Yeah. Do you have an area in game that you always return to?
You brought up this question earlier today.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a little rundown of what we would be doing.
And I thought about it. No. Yes, just a bunch. There isn't any one specific area.
We'll rattle a few off.
I love Arathi Basin. The Arathi Highlands. I love that zone.
Really?
It looks really nice, and that's where I did most of it. When I was flying around in a circle, grinding mats, just getting shit, that was Arathi Basin, because that particular ore that's there was selling like mad on the auction house for some reason. So I made a bunch of money.
Tin?
Tin? I don't remember.
There is no fucking tin on the auction house.
Whatever it was selling. Like, I could put that shit up.
Silver.
I could put whatever was in Arathi Highlands up for just whatever the fuck I felt like. Like, I could just put some random fucking number of gold on there, and 9 times out of 10 it would sell. And so I was making boatloads of cash, And so I spent a lot of time in that zone, and I really like how it looks. I love how it looks. I love the arrangement of it. I love the way and this is OCD. I love how the ore is arranged in that map where the nodes are.
Yeah, that's nice.
You give me a zone that looks really pretty, but the ore nodes are in a janky way, I'm probably going to hate it. Because I'm going to spend a lot of time there having to fly back and forth in fucking little star patterns to get ore instead of just one circuit. I love the Twilight Highlands. Highlands again. I love Hellfire Peninsula with a caveat. So long as I can fly. I'm currently leveling a Death Knight, an Alliance Death Knight, on a roleplay server. Just because I wanted a Worgen, and I didn't want to go through the Worgen starting zone again. I just wanted to be able to use their cool mountain power where they run, which, by the way, is exactly as wonderful as I would hope.
Yeah, it's fun.
Problem is, I have never previously gone through a zone through Hellfire Peninsula when I couldn't fly. Oh my god, is that zone fucking awful if you can't fly. Everything is a million miles apart, and all the quests have you go back and forth for no fucking reason. It is just terrible. When I could fly, I love that zone because it looks really cool. The mobs look really cool. They're in interesting places, and it allows me to take in these grand scenic vistas. But when I have to fucking walk like a plebe, those grand scenic vistas become a real problem, okay? And the grand. There's a lot of Outland stuff. There's not really any zones in Wrath that I really love.
Me either.
There weren't any zones in Kata that I'd want to go back to.
No. I don't know. I kind of like Vashj'ir. Like, I know I'm in the minority there, but...
If Vashj'ir wasn't such a pain in the ass to actually do stuff in, I'd like it too.
I didn't have that bad. I didn't like being stuck there.
That's
like that first section where you're stuck there, I didn't like that at all. But once I was unstuck, it was just like... I'm riding on my fucking seahorse. We're saving the ocean blue. It was good times.
And now I'm going to fight the whale shark. Oh no, I am dead. You too!
But that's me.
You know, I'm hungry.
We should stop before we get sued.
Sorry, it's just in my head now.
I wouldn't say that's my favorite zone. Zangarmarsh.
Zangarmarsh?
Zangarmarsh.
Just the big fucking mushrooms?
I hang out in Zangarmarsh for no fucking reason.
Big fucking mushrooms?
Yeah. And most of the Eastern Kingdoms.
See, for me, I like the Silver Pine Forest, but once you start getting into the fucking Plague Lands, you can count me out. They look brown.
You know, I like the contrast. And I like the swamp that's in Kalimdor.
Desolus?
No, Desolus used to be a desert. The swamp is called, like, fucking Swamp Town. I don't know. I never quested there.
I can never remember the name of that fucking place. But yeah, it goes from, like, reminding me of Morrowind with brown to reminding me of the inside of a Morrowind Dwemer ruin by just being red. Just red everywhere when you get to the Burning Steps.
Well, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know, actually... I don't really care much for the area where Goldshire is.
Just the general
I forget the name of that zone. Yeah, it's so fucking generic.
Well, the only real difference between that and Silverpine is Silverpine is a pine forest.
And it's creepy.
It's dimmer.
Well, there's werewolves and zombie creatures and...
Fair enough.
Plus, I fucking love the quests there. But, you know, even...
I'm sorry, I just had my tablet do something really terrifying. This requires... Okay, apparently my tablet has like a feature on it that I didn't know about, where if it can detect me looking at the screen, it won't turn off. I guess it's called Smart Stay?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I didn't know that existed, so I just saw my tablet, I looked away, looked back, it came with a little message, cannot detect your eyes. Okay, tablet,
Has someone stolen them?
Tablet, why
are you there?
Why are you looking for my eyes, tablet?
Yeah, Zangarmarsh mostly, and I really like the Eastern Kingdoms, because, I mean, everywhere, except for Elwyn Forest. I don't like Elwyn Forest. I like Westfall, I don't really like the jungle areas, but I don't like jungle areas in general.
Like yeah, I don't like stuff. I don't like Ungoro Crater.
That's in Kalimdor.
Yeah, but Just jungle areas.
Just putting that out there.
Just jungle areas in general. I fucking hate Ungoro Crater.
I'm not a fan of jungle areas. I don't like the jungle and the goblin starting zones. I don't like Ungoro Crater. I don't like Stranglethorn. I like,
The sort of, half jungly parts of Durotar where the trolls start out are nice.
well, that's more tropical.
The Echo Isles, I like those.
That's fine. But, Zangarmarsh. I don't see what's so great about Nagrand.
It's just really nice looking.
I don't hate it.
It's just really nice looking.
Like,
it has a really good ore pattern. Hey, you know what? I spend a lot of my time. My first tune was a minor.
Yeah, no, you
Ganlon is a minor.
Ganlon's a jewel crafter.
And a minor.
Or a minor, yeah, dirt. I thought you said blacksmith. I don't know why.
But yeah, no, it's...
It still needs some blood.
I have to spend a lot of time in those zones mining. I've spent a lot of time mining in World of Warcraft, and so the fucking zones ore pattern is very important to me.
Question 7. How long have you played, and has that been continuous?
We did research on this. More research than Spork really wanted to do. But we determined since September 2009.
August or September. It could have been August, honestly. But 2009, yeah. And we stopped just before Pandaria launched. Like, it petered off through there. But
when we stopped, I know I specifically stopped about a week after I got into the open beta for Mists of Pandaria. And I got into the open beta for Mists of Pandaria when the open beta launched. So I stopped a week.
It took me a little longer. I held on a little longer, but not much. And then we didn't really play again, but for like a month earlier this year until, well, when we told you about it, listener.
Yeah, it's so we were gone for a while.
Yeah, but otherwise since 2009.
And yeah, that's that. This one's been the simplest.
Yeah,
question.
that's the rest of these
because we're already over time. So
we might not actually be. There's that whole bit we had to cut out where the heater was on.
Oh yeah,
it was loud. Admit it. Do you read the quest text or not?
First time through, yes.
Depends on what I'm doing. Am I just leveling? Probably not. No.
First time through, yep.
Now I'm making characters right now that do read the quest text. Because I want to know. I want to know about the lore. I was a bit inspired by WoW Krendor. He did that in his leveling WoW video, and I was like, man, there are some cool quests. I played some of the Cataclysm quests. Yeah, okay, this sounds like fun. Let's give it a shot.
They don't feel so much like collecting bear asses when you know you're collecting the bear asses for a good reason.
Well,
or a shitty reason.
There's so much more organic. Because, like you said about fucking Burning Crusade quests, oh my god, the cleanup the Cataclysm did to make them just feel so much better is not there. And you're like, this is the most interminable, stupid shit.
Like, I've never tanked a DK dungeon in my life. I'm thinking he's blood. I'm just gonna roll Hellfire Peninsula. I'm gonna do that Hellfire Ramparts dungeon again and again and again to get the fuck out of this zone. It's gonna be terrible, and I'm not gonna be able to tank for shit. But I don't care. I want to be done with this.
Question 9: Are there any regrets from your time in game?
That's a weird question. I mean, I don't think so. You know what? No. There's two specific regrets. The first one is kind of a bundle of a couple different things. Oh my god, why didn't I know about roleplay servers sooner?
Yeah. Which ties into, holy fuck, why are my best characters on a server I no longer play?
They're two bundled, but those are the two. Why didn't I know about roleplay servers sooner? If I had known about roleplay servers sooner, all of my mains would be on roleplay servers. Because I roleplay those characters anyway, and they're on roleplay servers, which makes me a useless douche.
A weirdo.
Because why are you doing that? There's a server for that. I didn't know about that when I made this character, and server transfers are expensive.
3 and...
You?
Similar. I also wish I hadn't cared so much about what people thought when I first started playing.
Felt like it harmed your experience?
I don't think it harmed my experience. I just think I could have been more efficient at playing WoW. When we got the game back here recently, and you can attest to this, what I did was I concepted every character that I thought I wanted to play. And then I would roll them up when I had time, got them to 15 so that I could actually fucking play them, and then left them there until I actually felt like playing them.
Whereas when you first started playing WoW, you cared about people crying altitis at you.
Yeah, because people use it like a fucking sledge. And, you know, I mean, I had a man. Clearly, there's a motherfucker 83 sitting on fucking a new barack not doing anything. 2 of them, actually. And it didn't stop me from starting all kinds of alts. And I don't really raid anyway. I mean, that's a high-stress environment, and I'm not an endgame guy.
I mean,
I would want to raid. Here's the situation in which I would want to raid at present. And it might be like Dungeon Fighter, which once I finally get into it, I'll be like, raiding is awesome! Why haven't I been doing this my whole life?
now that they have LFR.
Yeah,
now that they have LFR, I'll raid.
LFR, I've heard, is pretty... I mean, like, it's a crapshoot, though, because of the people you get.
Yeah, but with the buffs they're putting in, I was listening to someone who's in the Draenor beta. They give you a buff when you do LFR. Like, they give you a buff when you do LFG now.
Yeah.
If you wipe, they give you a bigger buff. If you wipe again, it gets bigger. If you wipe again, it gets bigger. If you wipe again, it gets bigger.
Oh, so it's like easy moto.
The LFR, so long as you don't go into the hard modes, because they added another hard mode.
Yeah.
For the people who want to be all hard about it. Hard. Are you done? Are you finished laughing? Not
Well, it wasn't like a boner thing. I just enjoyed the fact you were saying the word hard so much.
I never know with you in your no-face.
No, I'm sorry.
But if you don't care about that sort of thing, you should want to do the raid to get the experience. And in my case, I want to be able to do the raid so I can fucking kill the Lich King. Because again, I roleplay my main tank, and he hates the fucking Lich King a lot. And I never got to kill him because I didn't. Our guild was 2 people, and I didn't want to leave to join another guild just so I could raid. Now I don't have to. I can just hop in and be like, there. Now I'm an off tank, and then I learn the fight, and then I become the main tank, and I get to do the thing I wanted to fucking do. Anyway, if they do LFR from that, I don't even know.
I'm sure by the time you're through Draenor, you can solo it.
I hope.
I think there are people that can solo it now.
Oh, there are people who can solo it now, but remember they're squishing the damage down? And
right,
it
but
it depends on how that buff works.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But I just want to be, and I want to be able to raid. There's a lot of cool shit there. There's a lot of cool mechanics, a lot of cool gameplay stuff that I want to do. I just don't want to fucking deal with the people. Now I don't have to. Except for the duration of time we are doing the raid.
But yeah, I've created so many alts, so many characters that I ended up deleting, and re-rolling. I just could have saved so much time. I could have been having better fun.
You do have more fun when you can just be like, alright, I'm done with this tune for like a month. I'm going to go play this guy. I'm done with this tune for a month.
Well, and this is something about myself that I've come to understand in the last 5-ish years. I need to mitigate what I'm doing before I get burnt out on it, so that I don't stop doing it for a long time. It's kind of like an ability to enjoy myself that I can use a lot until I get down to low stacks. If I have at least 1 stack, it accumulates faster. But if I get to 0 stacks, that shit goes on cooldown for fucking ever.
So it's like, you know what, there's alts in League that are like that, but I can't think of any at the moment.
Yeah, I can. There's stuff in WoW that's like that, but I can't think of it at the moment. But that's probably the best way to put it. I have come to understand this about myself. Just what I thought was ADD was me getting overexcited about something, diving headfirst into it, and then going, oh, I can never do this again because I did it too much. Now I can recognize that. It's why every 30 levels I've taken a break on Zomax, stepped away,
Played something else.
Played somebody else for a little while, until I felt like I was ready to grind some more dungeons on it. But yeah, if I could have done that already, if I had known better what servers to do shit on, man, I've gone to that goblin starting zone at least 8, maybe 10 times.
Jesus fuck, I can't.
I have all of 5 goblins, and one of them that I play. Same thing with the Worgen starting zone, and I like the Worgen starting zone. But I have one Worgen that I play.
I have one Worgen that I play, and he never went through the Worgen starting zone.
You had done it, though.
Yeah, I had done it. I just had to remake that character in a different way.
In a different server.
Yeah. So I changed him to a Death Knight because I didn't want to do the starting zone again. He was a warrior first.
But, yeah. Yeah, I just wish I had a better... I wish I had been allowed to have a planning stage and wasn't sort of pressured into, the cookie cutter that my friends were looking for. Not that I'm, super butthurt about it, whatever.
But that is
if there was a regret I had in WoW, it's that. Last question. What effect has Warcraft had on your life outside gaming?
Mostly positive, actually. You would think that would be it goes contradictory to the gamer stereotype of nerd in his basement and talk to anyone but his mom. I have had more positive interactions with people outside of actually playing WoW about WoW than almost any other video game I've ever played. I have had positive interactions with the weirdest, most off-the-wall fucking people. I have had long conversations with my dentist about WoW. He's way in, endgame rating guy. It's my old dentist, not my current one. I have had conversations with orderlies in hospitals. I have had conversations with just the most strange, off-the-wall people about WoW that you would never expect, and it's a bonding moment. It allows you to connect with these randos, and allows you to connect with them on a personal level, so that they're not just this strange person you don't know who you don't want to talk to.
League does that for me.
League does it less so for me. I get people who play League but know shit all about it.
See, I don't. Most of the conversations I have like that, I don't really have many WoW conversations. Really all WoW has ever done in my life outside gaming is kept me from doing stuff. And not in a serious way, I missed my sister's quinceañera because I was playing WoW or something. No. It's just, I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have played this game, that game. I was playing WoW. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, it's had a minimal impact on my life. It's been a fun activity that I've been able to do. Other than that, and my wallet, I suppose.
Yeah, had a pretty severe effect on wallets.
Yeah, that's true.
But for me, it's been a mostly positive experience. I've not really had a negative experience with people. Where, everyone who I talk to about WoW is pretty awesome about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
They might be an asshole in other ways, but in terms of WoW, they're pretty awesome. They're almost all really chill, really nice. Usually better than me in WoW, and they don't really judge me for that, and that's nice. It's honestly been a nice experience.
I would say that this 10 questions thing has been a nice experience. This month, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of World of Warcraft. And we've been playing for roughly 4 of those years.
With the break, yeah.
And so many people have been playing for so much longer. There's so much culture out there. Machinima and podcasts and Let's Plays and...
just a whole wealth of shit about WoW. And WoW is showing, it's cooling off. It is losing subscribers very slowly. But it's not anywhere near dead.
No, God, no.
And it'll be going for many years to come.
Yeah, Blizzard is stepping up production.
It is. Well, they also canceled their... they were going to do a next-gen MMO called... It was called Project Titan. They never announced what it was actually going to be. They canceled it. So I'm sure all the resources they were putting towards that, they just reinvested into WoW. It is this huge monolith of nerd and gaming culture that has been in Lexicon for a long fucking time. For any video game, let alone an MMO, because those don't usually have very long life cycles.
No, all things considered, and they don't have quite the fan base that WoW has.
Which is, kind of part and parcel. Those reasons are tied together. They don't have the fan base that WoW has because WoW has that fan base.
Right. And then League come and took to their steams.
But it's just... It is this monolith of gaming culture. Everyone who's into games, even if they don't play WoW, knows WoW. And I like to think that, as we do all things here, we've made it a little bit better. Because everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Let's go home.